Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad we could be here together today for our circuits yoga class today. We are going to be running through our circuit. We are going to try 3 times. We're going to pick up that pace a little bit and really keep a nice 45-second, 15-second transition recovery time, move on to the next. We'll get through 2. We'll see if we can get through a third one. We'll base it on time. First 25 minutes or so, we're going to be working through our circuit. Second, third half of the class, we're going to be working through a really nice hip opening yoga practice today. Let's go ahead and get a nice warm up in. We're going to start off with our marches. Make sure your knees, hips, and ankles are aligned. Arms are going to move nice and gentle here, just kind of creating a little bit of movement. We hopefully had a good night's rest last night and feeling maybe got to work out any kinks just from the night. Start off with a nice little bit of movement through the knees, pulling up in, using that core. Nice job. So today, all you're going to need are your dumbbells, water, a smile on your face. That's it. Really simple today. Make sure your space around you is safe, that you have no trip hazards around you so that you don't kind of fall over anything. Nice job. Let's stay here for another 15 more seconds. Nice job. I'd like you to continue marching. We're going to take a few nice breaths in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Take a nice breath. Extend the arms. And exhale, release. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax the neck. Breathe in. Beautiful. Feel that body just lengthening. Fantastic. One more time. Breathe in. On your exhale, come halfway down to a strong T, arm circles. Good. We're here for 10. Beautiful. 5. We're going to switch directions in 3, 2, 1. Other way. Great job. Beautiful. We're going to relax those arms in 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax those arms, set those feet down to the floor. Nice job. Hip distance apart. We're going to come down into a squat. Here we go. Down and lift. Now I want you to really be careful here. Make sure those feet are facing forward. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. Just kind of creating a little bit of lubrication in the hip joints, knee joints. So this is more of a dynamic movement. We're not looking for anything more than just a little bit of like mobility here. Again, trying to kind of loosen up the body a little bit. Beautiful. Stay with me for 10, 9, 8, 7. Looking great. 6, 5, 4. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right. Keep your feet where they are. Bend into the knees. Step out. One side only. Good. Stay with me for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. You got it. Excellent. 4, 3. We're going to switch over to that other side. In 2 and 1. Beautiful. Bring that foot in. Keep those knees bent. Step it out. Beautiful. Warm-ups are there just to prepare us mentally and physically. I don't want you huffing and puffing into your breath here. Just create a little bit of heat. Well done. Good job. Stay with me for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. March it out. Shake that out. Beautiful. We're going to take it to a lunge, to a balance. Beautiful. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land those feet, starting with your right foot. Take it back into a lunge. Pull that knee up like you're using your core to lift it up. Down and lift. Down and lift. Nice and steady pace. Keep that foot grounded to the earth. Beautiful. I want today's movements to be nice and steady, really focused on posture. Try to really ground into that foot. Use that quadricep of the left leg to press you up to standing. Stay with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and land that foot. Nice job. March it out. Well done. Beautiful. Other side. In 3, 2, 1. March those feet. Here we go. Land them, I meant to say. Left leg only. Here we go. Pull it up. That's it. Beautiful. So Ludia, I know I mentioned the Great British Baking Show yesterday, and for some reason I kept getting the title of the show mixed up in my head. I watched it last night and I'm like, I don't know why I couldn't figure this title out. I know the show. The Great British Baking Show. Suddenly my show of the week. Beautiful. Stay with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Set those feet down, march it out. Nice job. All right, we're going to do one more little bit of work. Upper body and lower body, hip extension with some arm reaches. Go ahead, set your feet down. Now, we're going to bring it back through center, back through center, back through center. So a little front raise with a kickback, opening up the hip, extending out through the arms. Nice and steady heat building here. Keep the breath nice and fluid. Looking great. 10 more seconds. You've got it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and march it out. Nice job. Beautiful. Next round, we're gonna do the same thing, except our arms are gonna go into a lat raise. All right, land those feet. Left leg only. As you're gonna bring that left leg back, you're gonna open up to a lat raise. Back through center, lat raise, back through center. Beautiful. Open, try to relax through the shoulders as you release those arms. Beautiful, looking great. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job, shake it out. All right, we are done with our warm up. We're gonna get right into our main set. Grab some water, grab your weights, make sure you've got a nice variety to choose from today. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exercises. We're going to do 45, 15-second recovery time, pretty quick transitions. If you need to slow things down a little bit or pick things up, that's totally up to you. Just make it work for your body today. So the first round we're going to start with is going to be a squat to a glute kick back. We're going to be alternating sides. Let me just demonstrate. We're going to come down to a squat. We're going to lift, kick it back. Down to a squat, lift, kick it back, other side. So making sure that when you're coming back into those squats, your knees are caving in. I really want you to focus. Keep those knees between those 2 big toes. I'm going to take some weights. You don't have to do weights if you don't want to. It's entirely optional. You can do this body weight only, especially for the first round. Choose what works best for you. So let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down into a squat. Lift, kick it back, flex into that heel. So heel down to the ground, toes lift up towards the body. Now when I'm standing, I'm coming all the way up, nice and tall standing position. As I flex into my heel, I'm getting the back of my legs fired up. So that's really important so that the muscles on the back of the legs are doing what they got to do. Got that glute fired up and you're not tilting forward. Remember, we got to be careful for those bird feeder movements where we're tilting forward. Just kind of gives us that fictitious feeling that we're really kicking into the glutes when really all we're doing is tipping over. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Fantastic. Excellent. Alrighty. Now, next, we're going to be coming into an isometric sumo squat. So we're going to be holding our sumos and we're going to go into an overhead tricep extension. If that doesn't feel right for you, if for whatever reason you feel like you're going into your back, maybe your legs are tired, you can do an overhead extension with your legs in that neutral space. Up to you. Higher you go on weight, the more those tris have to work. So find that sumo, little external rotation of the legs, bend into the knees, keep those knees wide so that you're tracking with the 2 big toes. That is so important. Bring those arms up Elbows tuck in. I want you to frame your crown like Vogue. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, down. Nothing else moves here. Abs pull in, tuck your tail slightly under. Stay with me, deepen into that sumo. I know you've got it. Come on. 15 seconds. Beautiful. So you'll notice you guys look great. Your elbows are just perfect. Try to evenly work those arms. You've got one side that wants to kind of dominate. Make sure you're trying to find that equilibrium between both sides. Nice job. You got it. Good. Almost there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Fantastic. Rest. Excellent. All right. So from here, we're going to move into our alternating lunges with bicep curls. So start at the top of your mat. You could go to a high lunge, you can go to a low lunge, you can do a little knee dip. It's really up to you. Palms are going to be wide if you want to take that option. I'm going to do a wide stance bicep curl. You could do a hammer curl, which is more of a coffee cup hold if that feels better for you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Nice and steady pace. Try to keep your gaze forward. Try to find that length through the spine. Shoulders are pulled back. Get that balance really kind of at the center of your focus here. Ground into that front foot. 30 in, 15 to go. Nice job. That's it. Nice job. 10 seconds. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Fantastic. All right. So, well done. Next one, front raises to lat raises. Feet grounded to the floor. Take a weight that you feel comfortable with, raising like zombie arms, then out to the side. Shoulders pull back, ground into those feet. Here we go, raise. Down, switch directions, out to the side. Did everything like this in our warm-up to start getting us ready for the work phase. Whew, keep that core nice and pulled in. Looking great. That's it. Nice job. We're already 20 seconds in, 25 to go. Excellent. Beautiful. Excellent. We are 5 seconds out. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Excellent job. Well done. Beautiful. All right, set those weights off to the side. Now this next effort, we're going to be doing some side bends. The side bends are really to focus on getting those obliques fired up. We're going to do this weightless. You can do it with weights if you want, holding it at cactus arms. I'm going to do them just with my hands behind my head. Coming back into my sumo squats, hands rest behind my head like I'm coming into a bit of a prisoner squat here. Now from here, I'm going to tilt over to the side, pull up through that opposite side to pull back up through center, tilt over, exhale back through center. Now it might be tempting to kind of round forward, but I want you and me to remember that we want to stay between a pane of glass. We want to be able to be into this lateral movement without rounding or twisting through the spine and then creating this lateral movement. Stay tall through the spine. Work those obliques back through center. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Fantastic. Release those feet. Release those arms. Excellent. Well done. All right, we're going to take it down to the floor for our crunches, then a plank, and then we're going to restart the circuit one more time. We'll see about getting a third run in. I think it's going to be tight for time, but we'll definitely get second one in. All right, crunches down to the floor. Feet flat to the floor, knees bent, hands rest behind the head. Pelvis is neutral. Got that natural little curve in the back here. Knees, hips, and ankles are aligned. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Beautiful. So remember, when you're lifting, don't jut forward with the head. Your head is just coming along for the journey. Head feels heavy in the hands. Keep the core the primary focus of this flexion here. So it's really the core that's facilitating this lift. The head wants to maybe jut forward to kind of teach us or think to us that we're getting up higher than we are. Remember, it's all core here. Low back wants to flatten out to the back into the mat. I want you to make sure that curve is still there in the back. So you've got some really good connection in the core here. Good, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, fantastic, awesome. All right, we're gonna roll onto our tummies. We're gonna come right into a plank position. So many options to choose from: forearm push-up, kneeling, whatever is ideal for your body in this very moment. Remember, could be different than yesterday, could be different than tomorrow. So whatever you feel like today, maybe a push-up plank, maybe a forearm plank, maybe kneeling, just make it work for you. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Just make sure that you're stacking your body like a well-built house. So wrists underneath elbows, elbows underneath shoulders, back is long, head is not dripping down. I want you to lift that head up. I want you to shift your weight forward. Keep everything nice and long, like a really nice plank here. Pull up through those abs, pressing through the heels. Energize through that breath. 15 seconds to go. Connect to the breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set those knees down, press back onto your heels. Nice job, everyone. Well done. Hey, great job. All right, that was our circuit. We're gonna come right back to the top of it. We're gonna bang it out. Definitely another round, and we'll see about whether we get in the third round. Don't think though, it's gonna be a bit tight. So we're definitely get 2 rounds in today. Let's start back up with those squats to kickbacks. You know what's going on now, so I want you to really experiment with that weight. Please take an opportunity here to challenge yourself. We want to take ourselves out of that comfort zone. All right, so back to those squats with the kickbacks. Shoulders roll back nice and tall through the body. Make sure your abs are drawn in. Bend into the knees behind the toes. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Maybe you pick up on tempo. That's the added challenge. Maybe you're just focusing on your breath, focus on your balance. Good. I never like to look at exercise classes in a linear sense. We want to look at it as very dynamic and changeable. We can always mix things up. Beautiful. 30 in, 15 to go. That's it. Excellent job. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Excellent job. Well done. Great. All right, grab one weight. If you want some water, grab it. You got about 8 seconds left. We're going to get into our sumos with our tricep overhead extensions. Feet externally rotate, knees open. Make sure those knees not internally rotated. Drift down, tailbone long, elbows up, frame the crown. Here we go. Drop it down. Now, if there's any sort of inclination to anchor into that low back here, you need to pull in your abs. You need to keep those abs drawn in, not bracing, but you want to protect that back. That is really important. We don't want the ribs to be popping out. Back is nice and long, really connected here to the torso. If you're tight through the back, it might feel like you need to pop in through the ribs. So maybe you need to do this standing, feet flat, maybe just focus a little bit on that back body. 10 seconds to go, keep it going. Get some good inner thigh work and quad work here with this isometric sumo. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! Nice job, fantastic, excellent. All right, we're back into our bicep curls with lunges, alternating. Here we go, top of the mat, 5, 4, tall through the body, 3, 2, 1, let's do it, team. That's it. Find that lift through the crown. Make sure you energize through those legs. Again, choose your lunge. Maybe you want to do a high lunge. Maybe you don't want to do a low lunge. You know, it's okay. There are days where I'm like, I am not doing a low lunge. If I had a heavy leg day the day before, I'm just going to take it easy. Good job. We got 10 seconds left. Nice and strong, grounded through those feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Fantastic. Excellent. All right. We got front raises to lat raises. Grab those weights. Alrighty. Here we go. Shoulders back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Lower to the side. Come about shoulder height on both of these efforts. Focus on that underarm, especially on those lat ones. That's going to really fire up those latissimus dorsi muscles. Just bringing that awareness to the underarm area. Don't have to press into that pace, but just bring some awareness there. Good. 20 seconds to go. Soften the upper body here. Beautiful. 15. Come on. We're there. Breathe in, breathe out. Yes. That's it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You did it. Well done. Excellent. Fantastic. All right. Nice job. All right. So we've got some side bends again, bringing those arms overhead. Arms are getting tired. You can always cactus the arms. You can even maybe hold your hands here and tilt over. Remember, there's so many options. All right. Sumo squat position. Bend into it one more time. Hands maybe here. Maybe you adjust. Lift up through the belly. Energize. Tip over. Exhale. Pull through that opposite side. Lean over. Exhale. Pull back up. That's it. Beautiful. Stay with me. Nice and tall. Tailbone down. Beautiful. Nice breath in, breath out. Remember, everything's just kind of falling towards center. Using that oblique, that opposite side, to really pull you back up through center. That takes some concentration, because sometimes we kind of energize through the shoulders to facilitate the lift. This is all oblique here. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Beautiful. Shake that off. Woo! All right. We are back down. We got 90 seconds left. We are going to have to just do 2 rounds today because we want to get right into yoga. So let's come down to the floor. We're going to be doing our crunches and then our plank. Ah, beautiful. All right. Hands underneath the base of the crown. Interlace the fingers. Spread the shoulder blades wide as if they're kind of flat to the ground. Elbows are soft. Shoulders are down. Inhale, lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Peel yourself up. Try to see. Try not to crowd in that shoulder, bringing them forward. Keep them wide. Pull up through the core. Let the head come along for the journey. So often I hear my neck hurts because we're straining through our necks to really facilitate this lift. This has nothing to do with our necks. Remember, this is all core. So we got to train our body, and it takes time, guys. I've taken me so long time. So just taking that time, focus on that center part of the body, pull up and down. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, and rest. Fantastic. All right, let's fall over to our tummies into our plank position. Beautiful. All right. Push up forearm. You know the drill. Whatever works best for you. I just want to make sure that no matter what angle you're choosing, your core is on, your back is long, you're really energized and stacked your body well. Here we go. Keep that head lifted like it's stacked upon the rest of the body. Shoulders are down. Find a little bit of ease and quiet and stillness here. 15 in. I sure hope that over the months and in some cases years that we've been doing this together, but these are not what they were. I include planks all the time because it's just like a fire up of all kinds of muscles in the body. They're really good to do because they strengthen the shoulders, the core, but it takes some time to get used to them. So I hope they're a little easier. 3, 2, 1, set those knees down. Nice job, everyone. Beautiful, well done. We got through 2 rounds. Kind of figured we probably would. I was ambitious thinking 3. Find ourselves in child's pose here just for a brief moment. I'm going to change over the music. We're going to settle down a little bit. Take water, take whatever you need. Just take a moment of pause, maybe move your weights over. Make sure you've got your yoga blocks accessible. So from your child's pose, just bring some awareness to the hips. So maybe you feel like you want to extend out through the arms. Maybe you want to keep the elbows a little close to home base today. Remember, whatever version feels most comfortable for you. I really want you to take this as an opportunity just to kind of come down a little bit. Toes together, knees wide. Soften the shoulders. We're just going to take a few moments here. I want you to think of this self-compassion. Sending ourselves some self-compassion and love. Just feeling the breath entering the body and kind of soothing the body, soothing the mind. Taking away any judgment or self-judgment or judgment of others. Inviting acceptance. See if you can just allow your body to seep in a little bit more. Softening the hips. Trying to give your body the gift of receiving a little bit of release, tension release, stress release. Taking a moment to acknowledge anything that might be causing you any sort of feelings of maybe uncertainty, imbalance, any sort of stress, and trying to just tap into a space of stillness here. Of allowing your mind to be given the permission to just quiet down. Acknowledging that what you're doing right now is just enough. You need not do more. You can simply be in this space and not do. Try to allow your tailbone to lengthen and the hips to soften. Inviting a release in the hip space, a space that holds so much of our tension, so much of our stress. From an emotional standpoint, from a physical standpoint, they work so hard. So we're going to give them the gift of just releasing and softening. Today, I'd like us to adopt perhaps or invite a mantra into our practice. Mantra of I am enough. And as you move your body today, perhaps you take that mantra and you bring it into your heart space with a loving, compassionate, and connected tone. One that is not filled with any sort of judgment or expectation, but rather one that fills you like you would fill a pot of water to put on the stove. It fills your cup, nourishes you, gives you what you need, and reminds you that you are enough in this space. Everything that you are, everything that you need is within you. As you're ready, let's go ahead and shift our weight forward, finding our all four position. Stacking the hands underneath the elbows on the shoulders, draw the knees in towards the hips so that the knees are stacked directly underneath the hips. Lifting the head, pressing the hands into the floor, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, start to tilt the pelvis up, let the belly drop, shoulders lift, chest lifts, find your cow. Exhale, energize through the core, the glutes, the inner thighs, let the head drop and release. See if you can let go of that neck even more. Inhale, tilt the pelvic bones down, arch the back, lift the sternum, let the belly soften, open up the front body, open up your heart. Exhale, empty up the belly, draw the inner thighs in, engage through the glutes, let the head drop. And just find these cat-cows here, breathing in as you arch and open up, breathing out as you pull the belly in like you would a button on a beautiful quilt. You'd pull that button in and you'd feel that string pulling on the other side. So imagine that as you're coming into your cat, you're pulling your belly button in. There's a string pulling your belly to the back of the room. Draw some awareness to your pelvic floor. As you come into your cat, open up your heart space as you come into your cow. Beautiful. Let's do one more round of cat-cow. Whenever you're ready, we'll just slowly make our way back in towards our tabletop position with our spine long and our tailbone reaching towards the base of the mat, the crown reaching towards the top of the mat. Press into the hands. Go ahead and shift your hips side to side like you would if you were doing maybe a hula hoop or just kind of swaying with the ocean's wave. It's kind of allow a little bit of mobility through the low back, a little bit of softness, a little bit of flow here, allowing for the energy to kind of flow through the body. Maybe you invite a bit of the movement of the shoulders. Connect in, check in, remind yourself that you are enough. Whenever you're ready, we'll make our way back towards center. Realign your body, re-strengthen the spine, energize through the crown. Feel that connection of the hands underneath you. Draw your right hip down towards your right heel. Press down towards the heel and glide your hips over towards the left side. Pull yourself back up as you're imagining you're drawing a circle with the hips. Press into the shoulders. Maybe you even create a figure 8 shape so that you're moving through the upper body, giving the spine a little bit of lateral movement. Really find a little bit of sense of ease. Feel free to close your eyes. Just connect in with the breathing, connect in with where you are right now. Find a little bit of softness. If there's any crunchy bits or any parts that feel a little less mobile, just tune into that. Don't label it. Don't create any judgment with it. Just acknowledge that it's there. Acknowledge the greatness of the body and what it does for us every day. And right now we're just nourishing it. We're feeding it like we would feed a plant, giving it water. In this case, we're just allowing the muscles to move and give it some dynamic energy, some opportunity to flow outside from our front and back movements that we often do within our day. Connect into your breath. So you nourish the muscles, you invite some oxygen to the body, you feel your heart space. As you breathe in and as you exhale, release any tension. Imagine that anything that's not serving you is coming out with the breath. You can even envision the words of whatever it is, maybe stress, maybe anxiety, maybe anger, maybe sadness. Just connect in and just find a flow. Maybe we decide to switch directions, move in the opposite direction, see how that feels. And just like life, sometimes we change directions, we move in the opposite way, and it feels a little awkward at first, but then we adapt. Maybe in this side, it feels a little less awkward. Maybe it feels more comforting to be in this direction than it did on the other side. Maybe it feels less. Maybe there's some different ranges of emotions or some crunchiness in the body that just kind of works its way in the shoulders and the hips or the back. See if you can work through that with a breath in and just a release out, trying to invite as much mobility as we can create within our own bodies, finding our own range. Perhaps you adopt your Ujjayi breath or victorious breath today, one that really allows us to find that center, that connection, that quiet, that breath in through the nose to the belly, and that breath out of the nose with that constriction of the throat, like you're creating the ocean within. Soften the shoulders, maybe soften the pads of the fingers and the heel of the hand, and just kind of feel the flow of this movement. Softening as you create these lateral movements, this opening of the hips. Maybe we'll do one or two more, and then we'll make our way back into child's pose at your own perfect pace. When you're ready, maybe knees wide, big toes together, press back. Maybe this time you come into an extended child's pose with the arms outstretched, maybe a little bit further forward. See if you can allow the arms to open up wide so you create space for the shoulders. Take a couple of deep breaths into the nose, down the back of the spine. And as you exhale, release the hips down towards the heels. Find that expansion in the back of the ribs. Press your hands into the floor. Soften that mind space. Connect into the ajna, the third eye space between the eyebrows. Know where your mind space is at right now. Are you drifting into the past? Are you connecting, trying to connect to a future? Could you take that attention back to your third eye and just feel that pressure of the forehead resting upon the floor, and just connect here right now, this space. Soften your low back, soften your back, your shoulders. Feel that expansive breath, expanding and retracting the ribs. Take a sense of quiet exhale, maybe even just open the mouth and just let the breath leave the body. Notice how there's just this little pause at the beginning of an inhale and at the end of an exhale. Take a moment to just absorb that pause. It's but a fleeting moment, but just it's a sense of that soft stopping of the breath, a stopping of the mind for that brief second. As you're ready, let's go ahead and shift our weight forward. We're going to bring our knees back underneath the hips, and we're going to bring the hands forward of the shoulders as we come into our downward dog. Maybe arms are a bit wider than the shoulders, maybe feet are wider than the hips. As you press back, drift down the hips, drift down through the heels and lift the hips up to the sky. Open up the heart space. Let's begin to pedal the feet one at a time here. If your wrists are feeling the weight of your body, try to draw that awareness to the thumb and to the pointed finger. As you start to create your pedaling of the feet, draw the heels down, open your heart space, try to find some softness here. Let the heart space expand, just kind of connect in with your body here as you move from one side to the other. Lifting the hip bones, lengthening out the back of the body, just connecting down to the earth here. Beautiful. Try to find some softness through the shoulders. It's so easy to bring those shoulders up to the ears, but can you draw them away? Can you soften the space and let the head drift down to the floor? When you're ready, let's drop both heels down and just take a moment here to lift up through the hips. Maybe draw the heels of feet a little closer to center, a bit more hip distance apart here. From here, we'll take an inhale, take that right leg up into our three-legged dog. As you lift that right leg, I want you to energize through the left. Try not to twist here. Bend that right knee, open up the hip towards the left. Keep the shoulders square, opening up the hip here. Inhale back through center, extend that right leg, and we're going to sweep that right leg all the way forward between the hands on our exhale. Maybe you need a little bit of help. Maybe you need to guide that right foot forward. Maybe you need to adjust your shirt. Wonderful. From here, I should have told you, let's grab our blocks. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. Finding ourselves in our low lunge here, we're going to set that left knee down to the floor. Right knee is going to be stacked on top of the ankles. If you don't have a yoga block, don't worry about it. Just find your space here, maybe lift up through the spine, maybe rest the hands at the knees. Make sure that that front knee is stacked enough so that when you lean in, it won't bring the knee above the toes. Make sure the back foot is reached back enough so that you can rest a little less weight on the patella and more on the quadricep. As you find yourself in your kneeling lunge here, maybe you rest your hands on your knee and lift up tall through the spine, finding a little bit of lift through the spine, find a little bit of opening through that left hip. Now, I want you to come to this with so much gentleness and kindness here. I want you to try to ease yourself into this hip opener. Try not to force that hip to open up too far, too heavy, too hard. Let the body weight kind of drift down. And I'm going to use an analogy from the Great British Baking Show. I want you to let the icing kind of drip past that baking tray. So imagine that you're like a cake and you're solid, but the icing's on top and it's just drifting down through that that sheet that we usually use, or whatever they call it, the baking trays, the hold ones, and the drip of the icing is just coming through those little squares. Allow your body to be that icing. Just kind of allow it to drift down towards the ground without any force. Just kind of softly making its way down. Take a breath into that left hip. Soften the upper body. If you're using yoga blocks, we're not trying to strain through the yoga blocks. They're just there as a little guide. On your next inhale, let's press into that right foot, shift the hips back. We're going to take a little hamstring stretch here. If you don't have blocks, your hands may come down to the floor, but I want you to be very conscious of your back here. Toes are going to stretch towards the center, coming back towards the middle of your body. Back is long, heart lifts. Pull in through the belly, shift your hips back, and you get a really nice little opening of the hamstrings here. Remember, we come to a point where we feel sensation. We don't try to force our body into these movements. Try to be gentle with it. Think of it as your temple. From here, go ahead and take your blocks or just walk your hands forward. Come back one more time into that kneeling lunge. Maybe just soften it a little bit more. Relax into that space. Imagine all you're doing is just opening up that space between the torso all the way to the front of the hip here. That's where our psoas connects. That's a great idea, Ludia. Well done. Beautiful. Soften the shoulders. Wonderful. Now maybe we rest one hand on our right block or our hand on our thigh, and we'll take the left arm up towards the sky. Now you want to keep your abdominals pulled in. We don't want to arch through the low back. As you reach that left arm up to the sky, you're directly inviting that opening into the psoas. From here, maybe we lean over really subtly and gently over to the right. Maybe not. Remember, this is your practice. Maybe this lifting of the arm is just enough to release that tension into the hips, from the hips out of the body. Maybe you can feel that right away in the front of the hip here. I certainly feel that the psoas connects right to the front of the hip, right to the lower trochanter of the ball of the femur. So it drifts down quite low to the base, the front of the hip. From here, release the left hand down, and we're going to go ahead and just shift a couple of times forward to back, trying to loosen up through the hip, kind of like we would do a door hinge. Just kind of letting it go. Beautiful. Wonderful. Whenever you're ready, we'll come back into that lunge, kneeling lunge position. Maybe take the blocks and set them off to the side. Take that right foot back. And let's go ahead and walk it out in our downward dog. So press the heels down towards the earth. Remember, they don't have to touch. I don't know if my heels will ever touch the floor. Open up the heart, press the weight of the hands into the thumb, into the pointed finger. Just pedal up the feet. Maybe even do, I humorously call this my sexy downward dog as I move it through my hips. So you can call it whatever you want. It's a moving downward dog. Just allow for a little bit of movement through the hips here. Just remember just to keep that breath at the forefront of your focus here. Reminding yourself that you are enough. Fantastic. Next time you find your right heel down to the floor, Let that left knee bend. Go ahead and lengthen the left heel down to the floor. Let the right knee bend. Heart space soft. Try to relax through the shoulders here. Drift both heels down towards the earth. Lift up through the hips. This time way into that right foot. Inhale, take the left leg up into your three-legged dog. Square off those shoulders. It might be tempting to twist towards the left. I want you to square them off. Bend that knee and open up. Keep your abdominals pulled in. Make sure that you're long through the spine, not creating compression through the low back here. And as you open up the hip, you're reaching back. Maybe you find a little more range, maybe a little less range on this side. Either way is good. Square off the hips, square, extend the leg as if you're reaching the sun. Take that left leg all the way forward, rest it between the hands. Finding your low lunge, that runner's lunge. Then from here, go ahead and set that right knee down to the floor, top of the foot rests, take the blocks. Lift up through the heart. Soften, roll the shoulder blades back, open up the hips. As you lean into that left knee, we're going to make sure that when we get to that space as we're leaning in, the left knee is stacked on top of the ankle. Could be slightly behind, that's okay. We just don't want it to keep it too forward. Make sure your abdominals are pulled in. You're nice and long through the spine. Come into this with a lot of compassion, a lot of softness, a lot of love. Now we know that our hip flexors, specifically the psoas, is intricately connected to our nervous system. It's our fight or flight muscle. It's that response muscle that when we're feeling a sense of danger or uncertainty, it's that muscle that initiates action to keep us safe. Works intricately with our nervous system. So when we feel nervous, our hips feel it. Our diaphragm working in conjunction with our nervous system and our hips. There's so much going on here. They work all together. So when we invite some opening here, we're not only inviting a physical length, we're also inviting a sense of release, a little bit of stress release. From here, maybe you press into that left foot, extend the front leg, go ahead and give your hamstrings a little stretch. Maybe you take the blocks with you, maybe you rest the hands at the floor with the back long. Maybe you are able to come down a little bit more, maybe a little less. I don't know if I can ever come down to my hips, but that's okay. Toes are going to come in towards center. Back is going to stay long and energized. As you shift your hips back, you start to feel the back of the legs. Get to that point where you feel sensation and then say to yourself, that's enough. That's enough. Let's go ahead and take our hands and walk them forward maybe one more time into that hip opener. Just allow the hips to drift down. Maybe there's a little more range, a little more opportunity to let go. Maybe just that right amount to kind of connect into the breath and to ease into it like that, like a really nice icing. Sorry for the reference to cake so early in the morning. Just open up the hip. Imagine you're almost like you're releasing all these wonderful butterflies into the sky. They've been captured there in their cocoons. We're just letting them go, letting them fly. When you're ready, go ahead and let's just hinge from hip to knee and just kind of create a little bit of movement like we would a door after we've oiled it. Just kind of give it a little bit of that little bit of love here. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and come back into that lunge. And then maybe we'll take that left foot back. Let's go ahead and set those yoga blocks off to the side. And we're going to make our way down to the floor on our backs. So from here, we'll bring our feet to hip distance apart. Knees, hips, ankles are aligned. Toes are facing forward. Arms are going to rest out to the side here. From here, let's move through a few flowing bridges with the arms resting down, clavicles wide. Press into the heels, energize through the glutes of the inner thighs. Press up as you find your bridge. Now you want to notice here the opening of the hips, the energy through the grounding of the feet and the glutes, cores working as you open up here. As you're ready, let's go ahead and set our sacrum down and just flow here, just breathing in and out as you flow and lift your bridge and open up the body, softening the chest and the throat and just the eyes. Just kind of allow yourself to open your bridge with the intention of extending and opening up the hips, finding that connection with body movement. Normally, when we do this in like a circuits class, the function is to really embrace and really great, energize and create that strengthening function of the glutes here. Now we're strengthening our body, but our intention is different. I want you to imagine you're expanding your body. You're opening the front of your body, your chest, your heart, your tummy, your hips, your knees, your quads. See if there's a little bit of softness, a little bit of fluidity here that maybe feels a little different quality. Let's go ahead and do one more and we'll set our sacrum down to the floor. And whenever you're ready, let's just go ahead and set the sacrum down and we'll bring our knees in towards our chest at your own perfect pace, maybe your right, then your left. From here, resting your hands at the front of the knees. Let's create a little bit of rocking motion side to side. Imagine you're massaging the spine, the low back, the ribs. Spread the low back out. Wonderful. From here, maybe we go ahead and come back in through center. Go ahead and keep the left knee in towards the chest and extend the right leg long, opening up the hip. Try to relax in through the right hip. Relaxing through the shoulders. Maybe you give your ankles a little twirl of the left foot, maybe a few in one direction and a few in the other. And then whenever you're ready, come back in through center. Slide that right foot so that the foot is down to the floor. Keep the knee bent. Take the left ankle, cross it over the right. Find that hip opener, that figure four. Maybe that's just the right amount for today. Maybe you want to explore taking that right thigh in towards center, interlacing the fingers and creating that figure four. Try to soften through the shoulders. Don't strain through the throat. Hold here for a couple more breaths. Fantastic. Set that right foot down. Unwind your left from your right. Take that right knee in towards your chest. Draw it in. Take the left leg long to the base of the mat. Maybe give the ankle a couple twirls in one direction, a couple twirls in the opposite direction. Beautiful. When you're ready, go ahead and slide that left foot, place it firmly down to the ground, set the right ankle over the left knee, open up that right hip. Find a little softness there, and then when you're ready, if you feel like it, take the left thigh in towards center. Soften through the shoulders, just give yourself a little bit of relax and reprieve through the upper body. Go ahead and set that left foot down, unwind your right from your left. Take the feet wide and just windshield wiper the knees in and out just a few times to create a little bit of movement through the low back and through the pelvis and through the hips. Terrific. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and come back in through center. Either toe heel the feet so that they're a little closer together, or keep them wide and knock the knees together in constructive rest pose as we come into Shavasana. Maybe you want to extend the legs out long, letting the arches of the feet rest above towards the sky, just letting the hips just expand and open. Maybe you want to come into constructive rest pose with the knees knocked together and the feet wide. Whatever you choose, make it the most comfortable position you can. As you take the next couple of minutes to just completely rest your body and distract out kind of ignore any sort of outward distractions, any sounds, any noises, any calls that are pulling you away from this present moment. Allow for an ease of breath to ooze into the body, soothing the body, soothing the heart. Wonderful. Let's go ahead, and if you feel like you need to stay here a little longer, I want you to. So please just take whatever time you need, and we'll turn everything off. You just take care of yourself. Otherwise, if you want to, start to deepen your breath, bringing awareness to the breath coming in and out of the body. Maybe even taking a couple of deep breaths into the nose and just sigh it out, letting the body feel heavy beneath you. Perhaps you start to move your fingers and your toes with some gentle, kind, soft movements. Just inviting that awareness into the physical body. And perhaps if you'd like, you can roll on to your favorite side just for a moment of transition. Just take a few breaths there just to kind of harvest the sense of perhaps stillness, maybe the sense of being, and just remind yourself that however you're feeling now, it doesn't and isn't only reserved for the mat. It's accessible and within you, off and on the mat, in all different circumstances. When you're ready, slowly press yourself up. Using the top arm, maybe even keep your eyes closed for that little bit longer. Keeping any sort of outer distractions just kind of away for just that brief little bit of time as we come into Sukhasana. Let us meet in Anjali Mudra, our prayer pose, with our hands together. Maybe the thumbs kind of centered at our sternum. Acknowledging that Anjali Mudra is like a mudra of balance. It kind of connects the right and left side. Finding that center point in our body. Let's just take a gentle bow down towards our hands in recognition of the divine that lives within us all. Let's close this practice with a deep breath in through the nose and a big exhale out of the mouth, like that deep exhale, just releasing any sort of residual stress, anything that's not serving us. May your heart always stay warm. May your smile always stay broad. And may the light that shines in me honor and see the light that shines in you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me this morning. I know it was an early start, but I hope it was a great start for you to drag you on to the rest of the weekend. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully sooner than later. From my heart to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, everyone.